Hey everybody, it's Annabelle and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're going to be taking a quick look at some of my orchid highlights at the moment. By this I don't just mean orchids in bloom, just things that I'm excited about at the moment in my grow room. Because honestly, blooms are not everything to me. I know that everybody loves the orchid bloom videos, myself included, but I don't know, to me like just a spike is exciting. A new root is exciting, new growth is exciting, so just going to show you around my grow room a little bit, some of the things I'm happy about at the moment. Starting off with my Rhynchostylis giganteas, as you can see, it's just looking absolutely stunning. Sorry, I've got gloves on, I've been doing some repotting, so let's just take them off. So this is Rhynchostylis gigantea red. They spike reliably for me this time of year every year, so I usually get blooms for around New Year's. That can vary a little bit in different climates, but they are triggered by the kind of winter period, so you do tend to get sort of Christmas, New Year blooms if you're living in like more temperate climates like the UK, parts of the US probably. I'm not sure what their blooming season is in their natural habitat. I believe because they are hot growers, they like hot, steamy, humid environments, lots of moisture and lots of warmth. They probably don't need a specific temperature drop. What they probably need is seasonal variation more than anything. So I've always kept these quite warm. I've put them on heat mats during winter. This year I haven't. This year I actually just brought them in from the conservatory, so they live in my nice warm lounge. I brought them in when they started spiking. So the conservatory is heated to around 18 degrees Celsius minimum nights, but for Rhynchostylis giganteas and Dimorphorchis lowii, we do want them a little bit warmer, so mine are kept in the lounge. Let's just look at the other varieties that I have, the spots, the cartoon and the peach. So this is my spots variety, and we have two spikes facing in different directions, and they're actually really angling themselves quite sharply. You can see this one is really kind of angling itself towards this way, and this one is heading off in this direction. So that's going to be interesting to get it to display properly. They're looking great. They really don't enjoy cooler periods, which is why I brought them in, because they are very hot growers. This is the cartoon variety, looking just beautiful. I think they look, the actual buds themselves just look stunning, don't they? This one was a little bit of a struggle for me for a little while. I just got it in quite bad shape and it took quite a while to recover, but it has developed some really nice thick leaves, which they start to develop when they're kind of getting a little bit more health. They develop much broader leaves. So my other two in the lounge were always in good shape and they just continued to thrive. So they've got very established, very thick, very succulent leaves, whereas this one for a little while was looking very floppy and sad. So this year it's looking much better and it's finally getting established for me. This is Peach, and this is its first ever blooming, so we're probably not going to get a very good display, but I'm excited for the buds that we are going to get. Look at those. So hopefully it blooms out true and it is indeed the peach variety, but it's doing really well. I am going to at some point transplant it into a actual proper outer mask, not just this one. But yeah, it's looking great. I've just pulled it down. I might actually pull that inside because I have been keeping it outside. It has got some mites. Not loving it, so I'm going to bring it in and treat it, I think, and put it in the lounge with the others. I said that I brought them all in. I kind of lied a little bit. I brought my two favourites in and the other three stayed out here, and I just tried to keep the temperatures up as much as I could within reason, but obviously it is expensive to heat the grow room too hot. So sorry, I'll just bring the brightness down a little bit. It's a little bit more reasonable. So that's temperatures at the moment. Ignore this. This was the very start of winter when the season started to change and I didn't realise, but we get an average low 18 degrees Celsius and highs 22 to 23 probably. And humidity at the moment is just ridiculous. It's raining all the time outside. Next year I'm going to need to invest in a dehumidifier, but for this year I'm just running the fans constantly. And the heater is a fan heater as well, which does help me out. Just a little bit of root porn while we're here from this Rhynchostylis gigantea peach, or peachy as I like to call it. I'm sure you guys are absolutely sick of hearing about my Holcostylis MS Sunlight. However, finally we've got a spike past a stub stage. Can we focus? Yes, we can. Yay, buds! Anyone who's been following my channel for a while will know that every time this spikes, I end up needing to repot it. So I just always end up setting it back, never getting any blooms from it. But finally, we have some buds. So I'm so excited to see that bloom out. Next, we have more Vanda MV Tannins in bloom. So it turns out pretty much every Vanda I've got from Clowesetum is apparently an MV Tannins. So yeah, it's beautiful though, isn't it? Just I don't need 3 of them. Rhynchorides Bangkok Sunset, still working on those blooms. Let's hope it is the correct ID as it is from Clowesetum. However, the leaf structure does look promising. It definitely doesn't look like an MV Tannins, does it? So it's definitely some sort of a Rhynchostylis hybrid. Let's hope for Rhynchorides Bangkok Sunset. I mean, it does purple up a lot, which gives me hope because Bangkok Sunset is a bit of a strange one in that it produces huge amounts of anthocyanins in relatively low light, so I think it possibly is, but I'm so excited for that. Next, looking a little bit scary here, this is Clowesetum Raymond Lerner, select clone, whatever that means. It blasted most of its buds, mainly I think because I'm giving my Cetacetinae a drier rest where a lot of them have dropped leaves. Some of the, obviously my care for them this year is a bit different because I'm keeping them in a more cool environment, I guess. Less controlled, but got 2 buds here. Cycnodes Jumbo Puff. Way too bright, sorry. I have to keep manually adjusting the exposure here. Looking pretty glorious. My Paphiopedilum American hybrid is just constantly blooming. Always. It's a very big plant. It's got 2 blooms at the moment, although if I do spray treatments on them they tend to brown. They get the botrytis, but otherwise they last a long time. Twins here, looking really good. So it's just a really rewarding plant. I definitely recommend it as a beginner-friendly Paphiopedilum. It does self-pollinate, so it always produces seed pod as well for me. I don't really want to do anything with, so I will cut that off at some point. I did send one to a friend to practice with, so maybe I'll do that to somebody else if they want practice. My Oncidium Pupukea Sunset is a little bit past its best, but this one branches off old spikes, so it's always worth keeping the old spikes while they're green because it just keeps branching and branching. It's a really beautiful one. Has a wonderful fragrance that's kind of almost essential oily. It's really beautiful. I love the Pupukea Sunset. It's such a rewarding plant to have. A little bit past its best, but my Burrageara Lazio produced about 11 spikes. Just looking really beautiful. It has a wonderful fragrance. I can show you the whole plant. Spikes hidden away in there. Some of them are fading. It's got some new ones coming, so it's just a really beautiful plant, and I'm very into anything fragrant, as you guys know, so wonderful plant to have. It's an Inca orchid, one of the few that I am confident of the idea of. The rest, not so much. But Lazio here, oh, I think you guys might think differently, but I believe it's Burrageara Lazio. It did actually come with a tag, and I did check the Inca Orchids website, and it seems to correspond. Their website is very out of date, but I do believe that this is the true ID. So Lazio there, looking gorgeous. And then something else I'm very excited about. This one is the Epidendrum Lehmannii. Kind of decided that double I is an E sound. Maybe I'm wrong. We had a conversation, me and a couple of friends, and decided that double I was an E sound, not a EI. Could be wrong there, so I'm always a little bit stumped with some orchid pronunciations, but I do try. So Epidendrum Lehmannii, and this has a sheath. This is one that I got from an Equestris order, and it's just doing really great. So I'm super excited for that because the flowers are supposed to smell like papaya. Obviously my Phalaenopsis are all still blooming away and looking gorgeous, so nothing new there really. Really gorgeous yellow fowl here, which is the prettiest lip ever, which is the whole reason that I bought it. It's just gorgeous. Really, really striking lip on this. Lovely contrast with a little white nose. So, yeah, they're all doing well. I'm not sure if these spikes will ever open. I feel like they won't. But this is my Encyclia cordigera. I always do this because I'm just always like amazed by this bulb. But it finally produced 4 spikes, although one of them has dried. 3 of them have made it to budding stage. Just check on the 4th one. No, it is definitely dried. So, can I focus? No, you probably can't see. I'll just up the exposure to see if you can see. In there. So it's looking a bit messy because I sprayed these all for mites and it's got dust all over it from the birds, so I do need to clean them down at some stage, but yeah, it's looking really good. I'm super excited for it to bloom. Long awaited. I think the spikes are huge. Is this normal? Absolutely huge. Very excited for it though. I'm just going to move into my lounge and under some very bright light that you're not going to be able to see very well, but I'm lazy and don't want to get them all down because I am making a separate African violet video soon. But my violets are all doing amazingly. Got some really nice ones. That one at the back I just absolutely love. Really beautiful. I repotted this gorgeous Syngonium with a friend yesterday, so we did a collaboration. He also has a small YouTube channel, like similar size to mine, so we did a Zoom call repot, which is super fun, which will be going live in the new year. That is my absolutely wonderful Syngonium Frosted Heart. And then here, how could I not show you my Dendrobium Berry Oda? It's wonderful. Wonderful smell like honey. I potted up a keiki for a Christmas present for my boyfriend's mum. It's producing some weird spike roots, but so far no keikis this year, so that is good. The flowers are just gorgeous. It's a really, really vigorous plant and I love it. Another one that I just continue to be astounded by is the Renantanda Heiko Greffier, and this is a cross between Renanthera and Neofinetia. No fragrance that I can detect, but really stunning star-shaped blooms with such an interesting little lip. I just think it's beautiful, and it's so vigorous, it spikes constantly, and it's actually still got a spike from last time. I pollinated this with Phalaenopsis violacea. And look how tiny and pathetic the seed pod is, so I don't really think we're going to get much viable out of this, but you know, never know. You don't know until you try, do you? So it's still got it. I pollinated it. When did I pollinate it? 3rd of September, and this is the result. So we'll see, but gorgeous, gorgeous plant, really beautiful. Speaking of seed pods, very briefly, Phalaenopsis Sue's Glad Kid Blue, which I pollinated with Clowesetum Marillianum crossed with Gokusingii, still has a seed pod, so again, I'm not sure where that's going to go, but it's an interesting. It's interesting that the plant still holds onto the seed pods, and it actually is relatively big. I don't know if it'll abort. It was pollinated on the 21st of September. So, speaking of Neofinetia hybrids, I did already just do a spotlight on this, but I can't resist showing you guys again. This is Neofinetia falcata crossed to Phalaenopsis equestris. Really, really wonderful little blooms on this. Really nice representation of both parents, and it's also called Vandanopsis Irene, I believe it's registered as. Really beautiful little plant here. Sharry baby is still flowering, but the blooms are just fading. We've only got a few left on the second spike here. The first one has faded now. So, still got a lovely fragrance of kind of soft vanilla. Maxillaria reichenheimiana from the Equestris order is actually doing really well. I mean, it's not surprising. My humidity is so high in here at the moment that any cooler growers who like higher humidity are probably going to be enjoying this. But the bulbs have really plumped, and I've got a lot of little things. Oops, sorry, the birds are excited. So let me just up the exposure a little bit. Can we see all the little things? So, just show you the bulb has plumped there compared to what it was, because they were very flat, like pancake-like when I first got them. And then we have, see all of these little spikes? Or, well, I assume they're spikes. Again, more here, and then maybe a new growth. I think that this one is probably a new growth, and then these are probably spikes from what I can see. But yeah, it plumped up very well. So that is doing well. I'm going to give you a bit of a wide shot of the overall grow room and grow space, just so you can get a kind of little look at how things are positioned, how things are doing. Sorry, my camera work is very clumsy here. I'm using more of a manual mode on my phone so that I can focus better on things, but obviously it relies on me actually manually focusing things, so that is the downside. But yeah, otherwise things are doing well. My fan is, I've got a fan just going constantly day and night now because the humidity is so high. I could really risk running into a lot of fungal issues if I didn't have lots and lots of air movement. So we've got the fan just going constantly and a pigeon trying to say hello to you guys. Maxillaria variabilis is looking super cute. Lots and lots of little blooms. They're all doing super well, all three of them. So one of them's on the orchid wall. I actually brought my Phalaenopsis Sweet Memory Leodoro in to talk about with a collaboration with a friend, but the spikes on this one are extending, so I should get the blooms quite soon. We have 5 spikes on this plant. Sorry about the messy table behind. We're doing repots and reorganising. And that is kind of it for everything that's happening at the moment. Maybe not a lot. I just wanted to give you a very brief update and just like talk to you a little bit about my orchids before we finish filming for the Christmas break, and I'll obviously be putting out more videos probably between Christmas and New Year. I'll probably put out a video, but it might not be very interesting because I've kind of updated you guys here. I've got a few videos queued to work on, so I might try and put them out over Christmas, over the Christmas holidays. I hope you guys all have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas and a happy New Year if I don't see you before, and obviously keep well, keep safe. Hopefully 2021 is a better year for all of us. Thank you so much for watching my video today. Any comments, you know the drill, leave them down below. I'll do my best to answer you. Don't forget to give this video a like if you did enjoy it, and subscribe to my channel for more regular orchid updates. And I'll see you guys all next time. Bye!